They're taking sexy pictures to send to Toni. And listen, I know that some people want to talk about the way Angela looks because she's older and she's kind of like got like scars from acne and whatnot, but like I don't know, something about Angela's spirit and the fact that she's still trying to like keep it cute and keep it together makes me like her. I just like women who like put energy into the way they look. I like to see that. I like to see a woman put on her lipstick. I like to see a woman get her nails done. I like to see a woman still in heels as long as she can wear them. I personally am like, because I think that I want that to be me. Like, I think I want to like always try to like be feminine, be pretty, and like, you know, whatever. Not to say I judge people who don't do that, who don't waste their time doing it, girl. I understand you, but I just feel the effort, and I appreciate the effort coming from Angela. So she's at her homegirl's house taking cute Polaroids. Why they just didn't take pictures on a like digital camera and get them printed so that they're good copies, I do not know, child. Like, Polaroid girl, why? But anyway, she was striking like the sexy librarian, the like sexy whatever poses, and her homegirl was talking to her about the situation. She was saying, you know what, I've been in prison, and 90% of the conversations that prisoners have with outside people, they're tricking them, and they're just there to get some help financially while they're in prison. And that she even did it to a guy. And Angela's like, you know what, I'm not a fool. Like, you know, I'm not a fool. And her girlfriend's like, I know you're not a fool. They're having mimosas, they're drinking, they're having a good time. But I'm still just like, ugh. At the beginning of Angela's segment, you know, she's like rationing out her money for the month, and she's got $200 for him, you know, money for the light bill, money for the gas, money for the rent, and then she's got $40 left over. I'm just like, girl, you could have had $240. But you went ahead and give that money to Toni, who like didn't even get out of prison when he was supposed to get out of prison the first time. You went over there shocked. And then he's acting like he's shocked too. And how did he get everyone saying, how does he have FaceTime in prison? Like, maybe it's contraband. It's probably contraband. You know what I'm saying? Like, he might have gotten in trouble for having one in the first place. I do not know. I do not know. But what I do know, which is what Jonna spilled some tea on, is that at least in her situation, Garrett didn't get any of the money from the filming because they couldn't pay the felon to do it. So I don't know what the stipulation is, but so I wonder if Angela's gonna get paid. That makes me happy. If Angela's gonna get paid for being in this, she can like do some stuff for herself. I hope she cuts and runs because she doesn't deserve Toni. So that's it for Angela and Toni. I guess he's supposed to be getting out shortly was the end credits comment. I'm not really sure, but it was just like, I'm happy she got her money, but was it really worth us showing the story and then having it not come to fruition? No. Andrea and Lamar. So in the beginning of their segment, they are driving to the beach in LA because of traffic and whatever. It takes an hour to get anywhere, girl. And the three kids are in the back. Lamar is in the front. Andrea's driving. Lamar in his confessional says that he's really excited to be with his family and this feels right to him and he loves that they're going to the beach. Andrea is just talking about LA and how she likes to be in LA, but she also likes to go home too. Tennyson is like, is all of LA look like this? Like, he's like, ugh, I mean, it isn't terrible, but I mean, and I feel you, if you're from a place like Utah where things are open, I don't even know what Utah looks like. I imagine it looks like deserty. I don't know. Deserty and green? I don't know. Like mesas and like hills? I don't know what Utah looks like. And Andrea makes some really dumb comment about going to the hood and how if he were to see what the hood looked like, he would think it was a third world country. And I'm like, what hood in LA looks like a third world country, fam? Like, I mean, if you're going to the projects, it doesn't even look like a third world country. Like, I'm trying to like figure out what she's talking about. You know what I'm saying? Like, people live in houses in LA. Like, there are Compton people who live in houses. Like, Compton and like in southern part of LA and like South Central is not all projects. There's people have houses that they live in. So like, I don't know. I feel like she's a Southern woman or a Midwestern woman because of her accent. Like, she's not natively from Utah, and I really want some backstory on her. While they're driving, Nyla's just like, so Lamar, tell me about like some prison stories. Did you get shanked? Did you drop the soap? And I'm like, does she know what dropping the soap means? Because as a good Mormon girl, like, I don't know that she should know that. And the truth is, yes. I don't for one second, as some of you out there believe, that someone could be in prison for 18 years and not have sex. You know what I'm saying? Like, to me, oral sex is sex, so. And I don't judge him. You know what I'm saying? I don't judge you. Live your life. You gotta do what you gotta do. If I was in prison 18 years, my whole life would be different. Lamar ends up saying that no, he didn't get stabbed, but he got shot. And they're like, really? You know, he got shot with rubber bullets, he said, during a riot, which, you know, it happens. Nyla asks those questions. Andrea gets a little upset and embarrassed, and it's just like, ugh, Nyla, what are you talking about? She just loves to yell at Nyla, girl. I'm like, leave that girl alone. Let her ask her weird questions. Even though, yeah, it was uncomfortable, I'm sure, for everybody in the car at the time. But she felt like she needed to ask that question. They were pertinent to her situation. During the confessionals during this part, Andrea says that she can't wait to get the kids back to Utah so they can be in an environment that they deserve. I just feel like Andrea thinks that they're like the LA environment is just not an environment for her kids, which I could see that, cost of living, but like, what's wrong with LA? What does she mean not the right environment for her kids? Like her kids won't be able to thrive in LA, or they won't have a sense of normalcy in LA? They will if they move to the valley. Like there are places in LA, I mean, she doesn't have to live in LA proper. She don't gotta be on 128 between Western and Normandy. She don't gotta send her kids to Lock High. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't understand what she's talking about. Like, she could send them to some school in the valley. They could go live in the valley where they would have like a regular suburban lifestyle. Hello? I mean, there's not many Mormons out here, but there's a temple here. She could live in the same city that I grew up in. There was a Latter-day Saint church in the city that I grew up in, like adjacent, but La Puente. I mean, there's Mormons here. Girl, I went to school with Mormons. They'll be fine. There's a temple here. So they're on the beach. Everyone's having a really good time. Lamar is really nervous about having to break this news to her. This is what I thought from the very beginning. I never mentioned it because I thought it was going to be mentioned earlier on. Lamar has done an 18-year bid. There is no way that after a couple months, he was just going to be able to up and move to Utah. When he got out of prison, LA County wasn't going to let him go nowhere. And that's exactly what happened. For whatever reason, he fed her these lies that he was going to be able to get out and immediately go to Utah. And his parole officer was like, nah, bruh. And so he tells her that she's gonna have to move down, and she's just very upset because she's just like, you know, I feel like you're dropping bombs after bomb after bomb on me, and like, this is not what I thought it was gonna be, and I have to move my kids. You know, what's her name does dance, the boy is like in school or whatever, and the little girl is singing in some choir. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do this. I can't just uproot my family, and I feel like my kids are suffering because I chose to fall in love, and now all of this is abruptly changing. And he's like, look, if you want to have this whole family that you're talking about, and she's like, of course I want to have a whole family. Why are you saying it like that? And he's like, I'm not saying anything. I'm just saying if you want this idyllic family that you've been striving for, you're going to have to move down here for at least 2 years. I cannot go anywhere. And so she's upset about it, obviously, which makes sense that she would be upset about it. And she's just like, look, if I move down here and I uproot my entire family and their progression and their progress in their lives, you're gonna have to marry me first. I'm not moving down here without being married. And he's just like, of course I'll marry you. Like, you're my girl. Like, I want to hold you down. And then she goes about trying to tell the kids, you know, that they're moving down here. It's cold. Nyla's trying to get back to the car. They're like, look, you can tell us back at the car. We can't think. It's really cold out here. And she's like, no, sit down, sit down. And baby girl is like cold shivering in her mom's arms. Lamar's like, we can go back to the car. Like, and like, no, I want to tell you now. We're moving to LA. Like, she just blurted it out. Like, I'm like, Andrea has no finesse. Like, she just refuses to, like, be a normal person and, like, have normal conversations with her smart kids. She just wants to just say whatever and have them be okay with it. Of course, Nyla's upset. She takes off walking off. Tennyson is just walking with them, and he's just, like, trying to bridge the gap, trying to make it appease his sister, trying to, you know, smooth everything over, because that's his job, and I feel like it's probably always been his job as man of the house. And he's doing what he needs to do. Nyla's walking away. He tries to have a little conversation with her, like, Nyla, why are you walking away? You know, why don't you listen to her? Nyla's like, just because she's gonna say the same thing, like, I just have to accept it, and she's gonna, like, force it on me. Like, why can't I have my feelings, son? And Nyla, I'm with you, have your feelings. Moms don't even back up for a second and let the girl have her feelings. She just wants an immediate, obedient child, and I'm just like, why? If you wanted an immediate, obedient child, then you should not have raised such smart children. I don't understand Andrea's obsession with having a quote-unquote whole family. Like, what's wrong with her family now? I really feel like her religion or something has got her thinking that she's not living honestly, that she's not a good woman, that something is wrong with her. And I just don't want her to feel like that, because there's nothing wrong with her in the family unit she has, and she's moving mountains and making crazy choices to have this family. And it's just really, really, really weird to me. Lamar says that 7 out of 10 dudes end up going back to prison for breaking parole, and he doesn't want to be that person. You know, he spent 18 years in prison. He doesn't want anything to shake that up, so he has to convince her to move down to LA. And honestly, that's what she needs to do. I get it. It's uprooting her life. But she's already on this path and she needs to see it through. So then we move on to their wedding day. And this is where I'm just like, oh, here's the Andrea that I don't sympathize with. Here's the Andrea that gets on my nerves. So they kept showing shots of Lamar walking away from her and her yelling, "You gonna really do this to me on my wedding day?" That was not in this episode at all. So I don't even know in what context that happened. But I do know that the wedding day was a hot mess. And Andrea like bothered me to the nth degree. For those of you who don't watch the show, she woke up with an attitude. Nyla was like, I don't talk to her when she's like this because it's unbearable. She's yelling at everybody. Her homegirl Michelle is there. Michelle is trying to stab her because she's being crazy. Her homegirl Stephanie is there. All of her friends from Utah, including racist ass AJ, showed up. His family is there. Her family is there. She made some stupid negative comment about his family, talking about, oh, his family makes her family look like the Huxtables. Like she's talking to one of her cousins or whatever. And I'm just like, don't be talking about people's family, son. They can't help their family. That's their blood. That's going to be your blood too. So like chill with all that. And I just, again, want to know where Andrea come from because she act like her beginnings aren't humble too. I hear that accent, girl. I hear it. She's yelling at her sister-in-law, which I'm not sure if that is his sister or if that is her ex-husband's sister, but it says Andrea's sister-in-law, asking her about these damn shoes. So apparently, Andrea found some $3,000 shoes that she really loved, and they were too expensive, so she found a designer who could make the shoes for her because Andrea apparently is a shoe fanatic. And that designer is like, I can't make it to LA to bring you the shoes. And Andrea is so upset about the shoes. She says that she's not going to get married until she has those shoes. She delays her wedding 3.5 hours because of those shoes. She delays everyone. Everyone is dressed for like straight up 3 hours and she's just sitting in a room slowly getting ready. Guests are there. She's yelling at everybody. She told in the beginning of the day, she told everyone she doesn't care if their parents die, she doesn't care who breaks a limb, that nothing is to come to her, no one is to bother her. It is her wedding day, it is her day, she will not be stressed out. She's yelling at the sister-in-law about the shoes, like, if you don't care about my shoes, get out of this room. And I'm just like, is this Dulo's wife? If this is Dulo's wife, then this is her house. You don't be telling people to get out of nobody's house. Like, I want to know who this woman is, girl. She was yelling at this woman, talking about get out of this room, get away from me if you don't care about my shoes. Somebody needed to pop Andrea upside the head because her behavior was so inappropriate. I don't care whose day it is. I don't care what it is. Like, you don't get to act or treat anybody like this. This whole Bridezilla nonsense was like my last straw. I couldn't even watch it. Like, my TV right now is paused on her yelling at the sister-in-law because I am so annoyed with the whole situation. And she's acting up. AJ comes to her while she's getting her hair done and is like, how are you feeling? Meanwhile, AJ is all dressed up in with some like 20s garb going on with the black. She's wearing her bridesmaid's dress. Like, AJ, everyone's dressed. Andrea's still in a robe getting like one tendril curl. And she's like, how are you feeling? Like, very excited. And Andrea's like, not good. My shoes aren't here and everybody's getting on my nerves. AJ is like, so, but your shoes, it doesn't matter. And she's like, they do matter. And AJ is like, even AJ is like, why are you being stank about these dang shoes? Like, that doesn't matter. It's about the wedding and, you know, how happy you are to be married to this person. And it became all about Andrea. I mean, 3 hours late? 3 hours late when you're not even away. She's actually in the house. The wedding is taking place in the backyard. She's in the house. Guests are in the backyard. And she is 3 hours late. And then you see the shoes. And you're just like, bitch, you waited 3 hours and cussed out everybody around you and told the shoe designer that she needed to drive to LA from Utah to bring you those shoes, and you didn't care what was happening in her personal life to bring you those shoes. So that woman somehow figured it out, got her happy ass in a car or plane or something, and came to LA to bring you some shoes that weren't even that cute, son, that she couldn't even walk in. And then she had the audacity to be giddy and silly when they're about to walk down the aisle and like, okay, no, I'm gonna walk back, I'm gonna turn back around, okay. So I'm just like, okay, I can't even. I mean, Tennyson and Lamar have this beautiful moment where he doesn't know how to do his tie and Tennyson shows him how to do the tie. All the dudes are getting ready. There's a lot of good energy and then it's like everyone gets dressed. Nyla is dressed. Baby girl Priscilla is dressed. Everybody's there. Bridesmaids, and she literally has them waiting for 3 hours. he has time to sit down and reconcile with Nyla. Holds her, he gives her a kiss, and he's like, you look very beautiful, and you know, I just want to thank you. Like, he reconciles with Nyla, he reconciles with Tennyson, while Andrea's over there just being a dragon monster. Okay, he goes around, he says hi to all the guests as her friends. His brother goes around, says hi to all the guests as her friends. Her friends are a little awkward, especially AJ. AJ's feeling comes some type of way because blunts are being passed, which I'm just like, what? What happened? You know what I'm saying? She's like, oh, there's marijuana. My husband's never gonna trust me to go to a black function because of how late this is. I'm just like, oh, AJ, child, AJ. Ooh. Girl, it's like one of those clueless women. Just so clueless. Just so inappropriately clueless. But at the same time, she was kind of right. Andrea too much. She's too much. I don't think that she's a nice woman. Part of me feels like she joined being a Mormon because she required some kind of structure or rules in her life to hold her in, to make her be a nice, stable person. Like, she wants to be good, but she's petty and silly and insecure. And so, like, she needs, like, some kind of, like, religious doctrine to, like, keep her in check. I mean, those shoes weren't even that cute, girl. Them old plastic-ass, bejeweled ass, like, thick-soled ass shoes that she couldn't even walk in, son. Like, she could have went down to Hollywood Boulevard and found a shoe just like that. She didn't need to make that woman come from Utah. She wasn't gonna be in them for very long, and she couldn't even walk in them, sis. She couldn't even walk in them. I wanted her to, like, slide down them steps with them shoes on, and I wanted her to proudly walk up to that altar, but she, like, fumbled and was being all weird and hold my hand and da-da-da-da the whole time. Then she gets up to the altar. Everybody's been waiting. She's so excited, he's so excited that they're talking over the person who's doing the ceremony, and the person who's doing the ceremony, I'm sure, has been waiting for 3 hours too. So she's over it, and she's like basically, don't tell me what to say. You just sit back and repeat what I say. Because Andrea's like, don't say good times, or don't say bad times. Just say good times and good times. And like, don't tell this woman what to say. So then the woman's like, oh, stay with each other from the good times and the bad times. And Andrea's like, stay with each other for the good times and the good times. Like, rewriting the script because she doesn't want to have any negativity on her wedding day, even though she is the ball of fists, the source of negativity on this wedding day. I mean, I could go on this entire video about Andrea, and I don't want to because I feel like it's putting too much negativity in the air. Girl, if I missed any part of what happened that pissed you off during Andrea's segment, please go ahead and leave it down below because I am done talking about this hoe. I'm glad that she was happy. I'm glad that everything worked out. But like, this was ridiculous. I needed her to feed everybody. What kind of food was there? Did she have food? Did somebody order Popeyes? Like, I just, like, listen, I'm over it. She gets on my nerves. I hope her the best. Her and Lamar are apparently still together. God bless. But that whole segment was, like, horrible. I'm just like, dang, Andrea. I wanted to really be on your side. Them old plastic ass shoes. Alright, you guys, thank you so much for watching this episode. Thank you so much for going on this journey with me. If you guys want to join the Facebook page as well, links will be down below. Don't forget to answer the questions. If you have any questions about my pillows, people have been asking about the pillows, check the description box. I try to put everything that I'm wearing and everything that's on my bed down in the description box. So check that first before you ask me, okay? And let me know what part made you mad or happy about this season of Love After Lockup. Alright, you guys have a fantastic day. Remember to be you, be true, and find your place. Bye.